The Age of Sorcery Chapter 3 has been out for a hot minute now, and with the story of sorcery wrapping up, we're expecting to see the beginning of a new age this June. What exactly is coming? I have no idea. Okay, I don't know for certain, but I think we can make some educated guesses. There's been absolutely no hints for the next age yet, but based on how the story of the Age of Sorcery has ended, I think we can make some guesses. My predictions all come from the same premise set up at the end of the Age of Sorcery. Kurak is dead, and Mech has acquired a captured princess and Kurak's severed head for his own ritual. He's aiming to break the bonds of the exiled lands, to free himself and presumably everybody else from the magic of the Giant King's bracelets. On the cusp of that ritual is where we begin, so without further ado, let's start with my first prediction. With this prediction, Mech successfully completes his ritual and manages to destroy the magic of the Giant King's bracelets. Their ancient structures holding the curse wall break, opening a path in the northern jungle, a path to freedom. The Age of Freedom would see us take our first steps outside the exiled lands and venture into a newly opened area in the northeast of the map. I previously thought this impossible, as did others, but lead designer Dennis did say in the Chapter 2 stream, I believe, that a map expansion was possible in the northeast, and with the story leading us towards the prospect of freedom, this is a great way to do that, without requiring the sheer amount of work that an entire new map would take. In this new area, we'd hopefully get to meet groups we haven't really had much interaction with. I'm thinking Hyrcanians, the Khitan, or maybe an entirely different race that hasn't really been showcased much in Conan Exiles to date. It's much harder to plot out what gameplay features might come with an update like this, or new story beats, given that this age would begin an entirely new story. However, if this were to come to fruition, this would be the perfect opportunity to expand the scope of culture we can experience in Conan Exiles. With the Hyrcanians, for example, they are a very interesting race that are direct descendants of the Lemurians that survived the Cataclysm. In-game, they'd still be tied thematically to the exiled lands through their blood descendancy, and it could open up interesting opportunities to experience the Lemurian culture that we've unfortunately only really seen small hints of in Conan Exiles to date. Of course, this entire theory hinges upon Mech's ritual working. If it doesn't, well, we reach my next prediction. With this prediction, Mech's ritual fails. Even worse, it backfires, and Kurak's prediction of the curses of the Outer Dark coming to fruition stands true. Mech's ritual tears a rift in the world, unleashing demonic horrors upon the exiled lands, throwing the realm into chaos as Nyarlathotep watches over the conflict. I do think this prediction is slightly less likely, mainly for thematic reasons. The Age of Sorcery was a very dark story, and having run for 9 months, I don't think it could run on that same dark energy for much longer without becoming a bit stale. However, if things did go this way, it could be turned into some pretty interesting gameplay changes. Purges in some areas could begin to include these demonic creatures, and world events could open rifts that see those creatures spew out. Being from the Outer Dark, these demons could indeed introduce Eldarium to the exiled lands, and the civilised folk of Sepameru and New Azagarth would surely seek to hunt down the demons, in a similar method to how we hunted sorcerers for the Khitan mercenaries. Additionally, this could lead up to another fight against the doom Nyarlathotep was planning for the exiled lands at the end of the Age of Sorcery. Be that a fight against Nyarlathotep himself, or perhaps a grand demon he summons, either could work. Again, as interesting as I think this prediction could be, I don't really think it's as likely. The Age of Sorcery has ran for a pretty long time, and as much as I do really love that story, you can only really do those sort of stories for so long until they begin to lose their mystique. I'm not saying we'll never get another dark and arcane sorcery story in the future, I think we definitely will, but I just don't think the next age will go down that route. Now, I do have one more prediction. It's not realistic at all, rather take it as me just fantasy planning what I'd do if I had unlimited resources and scope. So, whilst it almost definitely won't happen, let's look at that final prediction. Mech's ritual is successful, entirely breaking the bonds of the Giant King's bracelets. The curse walls fall, and the world is entirely open. Prisoners begin to journey outward with their new freedom, and find lands anew. To the south, past enormous sand dunes, the lands of Stygia. harsh deserts peppered with pyramids and farming villages, the city of Kashata glimmering gently on the horizon. To the north, past thick forests, the realm of the savage wilds, violent hills and rolling plains, a massive inland ocean, all dominated by a gargantuan volcano brushing the clouds. On the coasts of those new lands, sailors take coin for their journeys. Travelling across the ocean, the tower of the Isle of Siptar looms as your boat grows closer, the winds picking up with a strange energy. This is pretty much my fantasy-booked version of the next stage. Again, most likely never going to happen, at least not in this fashion, but we can dream. A gargantuan map connecting Siptar, the Empire of Stygia, the Savage Wilds, and the Exiled Lands would be incredible, and would truly open up the world of Conan Exiles. However, of course I'm not a game designer, and any dev from Funcom can probably give 1,000,001 reasons why this would just never work. Alas, a man can dream. And there we have it, my predictions for what's coming in the next stage of Conan Exiles. Of course, the final one, pretty much not going to happen, but I do think the first prediction is probably the most likely. Until we get any actual teasers of what's to come, pretty much we're just going on guesswork, but if you have any alternative ideas, do let me know in the comments below. You guys seem to have a habit of bringing up things I completely didn't think of, so I do quite enjoy reading through those comments. As always, a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.